Joyce Hughes dimensional thread painting class. So let's see some of her work up close. Go ahead. You're fine. I didn't want to hold you up, sweetie.
Time to quilt.
What now?
Your time to quilt.
Yes.
On YouTube.
How did you know?
Look at you.
Oh my God. This is so. You're the first person I've ever met. Oh. I just met my first viewer.
I'm just holding. Oh, there's. All right,
so
you two are centered.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't have to push anything.
Nope, just take it. That's great. Thank you very much. No problem. That's exciting.
It's just balancing the color. So I'm just working my way around the tree, making the branches. And these will get definitely more defined, more twig-like. So I would do that for the rest of the twigs through the branch and the other trunk that I have. And then blue color. We're going to use that first. Then you're going to use your metallic blue. You have a metallic blue in there, and then you have a dark blue, 0823. Last, this is the one little exception, probably, that lightest to darkest sort of rule I have, is the white last. And the white, I'm creating more of that frothy film that you would see on the water, on the edges of banks or the waterfall. You see the white splashing. If I would add that first, by the time I add those other three threads, you wouldn't see any white. And it wouldn't be like it was on top, like the froth is. So that's, when you think about stuff like that, think about the layering, also how it would look on life, or how it would really look. So I got blue in the bobbin. And what you're going to do, this is a overlay and blending it into other areas. So I'm still seeing the panel, still seeing the overlay, and more blending in, covering up that, and pulling it into the middle. So it's not just like I'm circling around the overlay. You want to pull it in and blend it in. So I'm going to add add this, it's adding more color, blending stuff together. Okay, let's do a little bit more along the water edge here. Here's another overlay. I'm going to blend that in along the edges, pulling it into the middle, so it's not like I'm just circling it. Okay, so then you're going to take your metallic. So I'm doing a little bit different because they're playing off of what is behind it. Fabric, other threads, you know, the fabric on the top, the sky was lighter than what it is in the water. So it might even give it a bit of a different look, but it's the same thread color. So the threads can appear different just by what it's sewn on or next to. And then we're going to use the blue. And I don't use this heavy because I really don't want to darken it up. And that's what this would do. But I just want to really give a little bit more distinction of maybe the ripples or where the water would be a little deeper. And then I can bump that up a little. So like I said, I'm not trying to go deep. I'm not trying to go heavy with this. Just to give a little bit more color, a little more shading. And it just cleans things up. Maybe a little shadowing here from the tree. A little reflection there. Then the white. This is normally, and on your list, you have that almost towards the end. And the reason why I will add the white towards the end, I'm going to show you it here now, but I like to do all of the water. So normally if I was doing this at home, I would have done all of that base stitching. So even on the directions on the sheet, it says continue with the water, continue with the rocks, like on step number 11, 12, 13. That means just dropping down the panel with all the zigzag. So we got into the solid colors when we said the straight stitch down here. Normally I would finish that whole base, getting it all done, and then going back up and working my way down. So when I would do the rocks, get down to about the third of the rocks, then get to doing the water, I would do all those layers of the water, just like it's listed on there, but I would not do that white until the end. And the reason for that is I am using that white to give a little bit of a splash and a sparkle to it, like a real, you'll see when that white goes on, it just gives that punch to it. Just like when you were looking at a waterfall, you know, you see that white froth or the, you know, the splash. If you start adding it as we go, you tend to get too much is put on. I like to add it at the end where you get a better feel of the overall quilt, of how much threading has been done, you know, all of your water has been done. You just get a better feel of how much do you want. You don't want to be too heavy with this. And with the white, like I said, it's like, think of splashes just along the edge of a ripple or something. But I would wait to do that water, this white part, until all the water, all the layering, you know, 3 other colors are done for the whole quilt, and then go add the white part. So you are seeing way more than what.
Well, I love it. Thank you.
So,
It really helps.
So I've had some issues of like, is the projector on, is it not on? Al was whispering things in my ear. A little bit of a punch against all those threads. And I'm very irregular. I don't want to be exact on this at all. Very irregular shape, and I will not travel because this white, you will see it if you travel with it. So I like to give it along the edges here. A little tiny rocker back and forth, and not much. You don't need much of this, but it does add to the quilt. And maybe I'll add a little bit up here. Okay, so you see that little bit of the white. Let me clean up the blues here. Just imagine that you have that splash, you know, or a froth or something on the water. One side. Okay, and you'll see it on the quilts. If you see it on different ones, you just see it different ways that I've used it. But that's how that water is. You know, just take your time with adding those little extra spaces. Okay, so are you still zigzagging? Huh? Yes. And then what I can do is I am going to cut some of that netting. And I'm going to cut that off. And then you can fluff up your part where it's supposed to be, it's stitched. If, like here, it's not stitched there. So I'm just going to do one little across it. Trim it a little and fluff one up. And this way it just gives a little bit of dimension to it. If it's too much for you, you just have to tack it back down. Or, so with bobbin work, what it is thick threads that are too thick to go through the eye of my needle. This is through the needle and sew with it. So it is in my bobbin. So you say, well, how do you know we're going to sew? And what I do is I mark my quilts because I want to be exactly know where I am going to sew. I wanted that snow exactly to sit exactly on top of this wood, exactly on top of certain branches. So what I do is I mark my quilt. If I'm marking it on the top, I have the thread that I'm going to use. So I got green in my bobbin, green on top. And I'm going to put a thread that is nowhere on this quilt. So I have not used red today. So I'm going to put red in my quilt in my bobbin. And I am going to mark where do I want to put it. So I'm going to go around. And with this one, I actually use two different colored greens for the bobbin work. So it gives you even a little more interest. So I am now going to just go around along the outer edge, because that's where I know I'm going to want to mark. I don't want it to go into the sky, and I don't want it to go into the water. I want it just where I want that tree to be. Nowhere else.
So you have green on top.
I don't want it to cover the trunk. So I got green on top. So I'm going to make this short. Normally I would do the outline of the whole tree, and I'm not going to do bobbin work on the whole tree while you're here, because it takes a long time. Or it can take time, and it also takes a lot of thread. This thread is much thicker than our regular thread that we're piecing with. So it does not go, one bobbin does not go as far as you think it's going to go. It's not like you're piecing the same. So you will have to probably, to do that tree, I would probably have to go through maybe 3 bobbins, well, maybe 4 of this thread.
I wanted a little record to show you some of the problems with this room that I've been having. I couldn't wash my hands, wash my face, or brush my... So I had to end up brushing my teeth at the kitchen sink. The other problem is, and I'm going to turn this off. I want you to be able to hear this. So I'm going to have to, it's going to be in the dark, but listen to this faucet drip. And until I realized I had to leave. You hear that? It was so loud during the night I had to close the bathroom door. And now if you look, you'll see how the drain is damaged by the constant pounding of this drip. It's very disconcerting. And it keeps the room extremely humid. Okay, I'm in the car, soon going to go home. I want to quickly show you the fabrics I bought and one special basket, and then we'll head home. And here is a beautiful fabric I got of the Northern Lights, but I'm going to use it for different space sequences and galaxies and things. And then I found this, which will also do a beautiful job. So that's just 2 yards of fabric I bought, and then I bought this basket made in Madagascar, and I believe it's Madagascar, he said, but isn't it nice? Built, it's woven out of reeds, and then has leather handles, leather supports on the bottom, $30. So I think I did pretty good for myself and still stayed on my budget. I'm on the way home. I'm ready. I've had a great time, learned a lot of things, but I'm going to be so glad to go home. I've missed Mark. I've missed my puppies. I've missed my bird. So I'm ready to go home. It's going to be 5 hours at least, so I have to just settle back, put on a good audiobook, and drive home. I'll show you the waters. This is the James River.